Hi guys, so I'm going to take you through how to do an Andy Warhol style edit of a celebrity. So we're going to start by opening a web browser and typing in the celebrity we're looking for. When we're looking for the picture, ideally we want an image which hasn't got too much distracting stuff going on in the background. So we just want a portrait and a clear background like this image here. Something like this one, which has got a lot of detail in it, wouldn't be ideal. This one again, the same thing, a lot of detail in it. This one isn't a portrait, there's too much going on, so we want a head and shoulder shot. This one would work, but it's in black and white. Really, it needs to be a colour image, otherwise much of what we're going to do won't work. So this one would probably work, for instance. We click on it, make sure it's good enough quality, and then we just drag it from here into the folder we want it to go in. So you need to open up a folder on your user ready to start working from. Once we've got the image in there, we're going to right click on it, open it with Photoshop, and then edit it from there. I'm going to start with this one here, right click, open with Adobe Photoshop 6. If that doesn't show up straight away, you go to choose another app or choose more apps and keep going until you find Adobe Photoshop CS6. Okay, great. We're going to turn this image into something that looks like this one. Okay, to do that, I'm going to start by adding a hue and saturation layer. So I'm going to click on the little symbol at the bottom here. It's a circle, half white, half black. I'm going to add hue saturation layer, and I'm going to change the hue. What that's going to do is dramatically alter the colouring of the image. So I might alter it to, I don't know, like a green or this blue. Okay. Then we're going to add a glowing filters layer over top of it, glowing edges. To do that, I'm going to click on the image layer, highlight that in blue, then right click, duplicate layer. That's going to copy the layer. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to move that layer above my hue and saturation layer just by grabbing it and dragging it above. Okay, to this, we're going to add a filter. So I'm going to go to Filter, Filter Gallery, and then I'm going to add a glowing edges filter, which is under Stylize. So you click on Stylize, and there's glowing edges. You can alter the settings here, so you could alter the width edge, which will make the glowing edges wider or narrower, the brightness of them, or the softness, so you can make them more or less sharp. I think something like this looks pretty good in between. You can experiment with that. Then when you're happy, click OK. Now at the moment, the whole image has gone mostly black in the backgrounds, so we're going to change the layer blend mode. So at the moment it's set to normal, which means that this image is solid. It's completely covering the images below. We're going to click here where it says normal and change that to screen. Then it becomes semi-transparent, so we can see that image and the image below it. It's creating this glowing effect around the edge of a face. We could change the colour of this glowing bit here by adding another hue and saturation layer. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to click on the symbol again, hue and saturation, and then I'm going to right click in this area of that new layer, anywhere in here, and select create clipping mask. What that means now, that little arrow has appeared, it means it will only affect the layer below it. And again, I'm going to change a hue, and we should see the glowing edges bit changes colour, but not the rest of the image. I'm going to change that to pink. Okay. Right, next thing we're going to do is create a different colour background, because it's just black at the moment, which is a bit boring. So we're going to click on the background layer. I'm going to select the magic wand tool from here on the left. Sometimes it might show as a quick selection tool, so you right click on it, select magic wand. And then on the background layer, I'm going to click anywhere in this black area here. So it's selected, we've got a dotted line just around that background area. If you get stuck at any point, guys, just pause the video, carry on up until that point, and then restart the video. Okay, so I've selected this area. I'm going to create a new layer by clicking on this little triangle here and select a new layer. and click OK. You can also go to Layers at the top and select New Layer. Right, that's created a new layer here. What I'm going to do now is fill this area with a paint bucket tool. I'm going to use what I think is a really bright contrasting colour. To change colour, you click on these little squares here and you can change it to whatever you want, whatever you think will be a really good contrast. I think that green will work quite well. Then select OK. Click on the paint bucket tool. Sometimes this will show on yours as a gradient tool. So if it does, right click on it, select paint bucket, and then I'm just going to click in anywhere in this dotted area. Okay, that's now gone green. You can see it's green here, but it's pink on the image because it's below this hue and saturation layer. So what I'm going to do is move that layer up to the top, and then it will go green. I'm going to select and deselect so it gets rid of those dotted lines. Okay, what we want to do now is put some dots into the background. So I'm going to right click on this top layer now for the background bit. So there's no image on there, just a background. I'm going to select duplicate layer. Okay, then I'm going to select filter again. This time we're going to go to pixelate and color halftone. That'll give you some different options here. The main one you want to mess around with is the radius. So if you want the dots bigger or smaller, you can increase the size of the radius. I'm going to click OK, and you can see it's put on a series of dots, much like we get in a pop art piece of work. Okay, so what we've got now is an image which looks very pop art. It's blue and it's green. Pop art, we get a lot of images repeated, but in different color variations. So to do that now, we're going to add some more hue and saturation layers. So above this green one now, I'm going to add another hue and saturation layer, and I'm going to change the colors to something completely different. So that pink and blue looks quite good. And then select OK. I'm going to turn that one off. So I've got a green and blue one, a pink and purple one, green and blue, pink and purple. I'm going to add a new hue and saturation layer. I'm going to change the colour again to something different. So I might go for a yellow and green, or we'll go a pink and green, and then turn that one off. And then I'm going to add another new hue and saturation layer and go yellow and green this time. Okay, and then turn that one off. What we're going to do now is save the image. So I'm going to go to File, Save, in your case, or Save As. I'm going to Save As, and I'm going to call this Cube 1 and save that. Okay, I'm going to save it as a JPEG as well. So once you've saved it as a Photoshop file, we're going to save everything as a JPEG as well. Really important. So File, for you guys, you're going to click Save a Copy. And then that will give you this option, JPEGs, which you can pick from that menu. I'm going to call this one 1A because I'm going to save a lot of different copies. 1A JPEG. Save. Okay, then I'm going to turn on my next layer because what I want is loads of different colors of it. File, save a copy. Call this one 1B. Select JPEG and save. Turn on my next layer. File, save as 1. You've guessed it, C. And then here, select JPEG, click Save. Turn off that layer, turn on my new one. So I've got different color variations of it. File, save as 1D, JPEG, save. What you should see then is we've got a load of different files of the same thing but in different colorways, which is perfect for a pop art response. If you've done that, guys, well done. As soon as you finish, you can open up the next link and do the next edit.